All right. So I think we could probably just get started. So before we begin, I have a couple of administrative announcements. Please be aware that this meeting will be recorded for the convenience of those who cannot attend and will be accessible on our Facebook page and our website, mossbay.org, starting tomorrow. We typically have the majority of our neighbors watch the recording rather than attend live, maybe especially after the holidays here. So we kindly request that you keep your microphones muted unless you're actively speaking. We'll reserve questions for the end of each presentation. And if you wish to ask a question, you have the option to unmute yourself and just ask it or type it in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to read it out loud so that it can be captured for the recording. So we have a great and pretty full agenda today, and we can get started here. All right. So welcome, Jim, our first presenter. And I'll stop sharing here so you can get started.
Thank you so much, Alex and Brenda, and hello everyone in Moss Bay. Big special hello to my friend B Neon. It's a pleasure to be presenting to you tonight, and my offer is to come back as often as you need me. I appreciate the invitation. It's always good to get information out. There's a lot of it. So tonight, we kind of selected some big things that have happened and some things that are on the near term horizon, and like to leave some time open for questions and then come back as you all would like me to. So let me share my screen. Did a little practice on this, and boom. So can everybody see that deck? 2026 city updates.
We're good.
Okay, great. So um, that's really just what this is. We sat down with staff and said, let's start with what's immediately happened and what's near term on the horizon, and then move from there. We did call out two things. The work on 85th Street, I think you had asked, I think Brenda had asked about that specifically in the Kraken. So I added those two very specific items. I see my friend Ken there. Hi, Ken. Okay.
Hey, Jim.
So, hey, thank you for joining. So, um, the first one and I thought if it's okay, Alex, that I would just go through them.
Sure.
I'm happy to stop and take questions on each one, or finish and then take questions at the end. Very flexible now. So the first, of course, is the Lake Street Scramble. This is an image of it. It's a lot of fun. You don't have to walk directly across the street. You can walk in the middle of the street. It's kind of a liberating feeling. It's a lot of fun. This is so I have a QR code on this deck. So if you wanted to get more information, you can just download that QR code, and it will send you to a place where you can find more information. For those who don't know, this is a big project for the city: decorative paving and landscaping and furnishing. We see it as a centerpiece of the downtown. It's really beautiful. It did take a while. There's new curb ramps and traffic signals, and we did a relatively significant stormwater system upgrade. So there was a lot of environmental work done as part of the Scramble. We believe it's a safer crossing in high traffic area. It reduces flooding risks, and we really hope and feel like this enhances the downtown in many ways. And I just thought I'd put that out there. I know folks, we are very appreciative of everyone that had to live through a lot of the labor and construction. But hopefully this new downtown intersection really brings a lot of great opportunities to the downtown area. So,
sorry, Jim.
yes.
Is that a real photo?
I believe it is.
Okay.
I believe it is.
So that no turn on red, that's like a new sign, right? In the front there?
Yeah, I mean, I can double check on that. Somebody built the deck for me.
Okay. No, it's good. I've noticed a lot of people maybe don't understand how to handle the intersection yet.
Yeah.
And so I see a lot of turns on red. It's hard to see that sign when it's above the light post.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah,
sign looks great.
I do think it's a drone shot of our actual.
Okay, it's not AI or
intersection.
anything. Good.
I will double check, Alex, and I'll send that out if it's different. So another item of interest is the Rapid Ride K line. This is a pretty big deal. A new high frequency, reliable bus line. It's going to connect Totem Lake, downtown Kirkland, downtown Bellevue, Eastgate. The city's been working closely on this project with King County Metro. The final decisions belong to King County Metro, but Kirkland is strongly advocating for our residents here. So it's still being done. The design phase that they have published the preferred routes, which I just noted. The design phase goes through 27, 26, and 27. So this year and next. Construction would begin from 27 to 30, and service begins in 2030. So it would come through the downtown area and present a lot of really good connectivity. So it's a good early update to you all about that possibility. I mean, that plan. So we also highlighted this, I think it's called Peak, the Central Peak development. I'm sure people have been interested in this relatively significant development right behind Zeke's Pizza. You see there, this was a groundbreaking event. The construction on Central Peak, which is right on Central Avenue, began in September of 25, and it is expected to be completed in 2027. The Central Peak project will consist of 26 condominiums. There'll be 1 to 3 bedrooms. My understanding is it's about 1,150 square feet to about 2,400 square feet for those condominiums. There will be ground floor retail. I don't know how substantive this is, but I have a parenthetical in my notes that says a bakery is being recorded. That would be kind of nice. And it will have a rooftop patio. So that's the Central Peak development right across the street from the Monarch, Lula Yang's building.
That was the US Bank building.
This was the U.S. Bank building. Yep.
Okay. Sorry, Jim. I missed a question in the
Yes.
chat. Maybe this is a good time to ask that. Question from Karen. Is the pacing of traffic lights still being studied at the Scramble? Her comment is that traffic backups seem to be worse.
My understanding, Karen, is that the work in the Scramble is completed, but I will follow up to see if there is ongoing research being done. And I'm making a note to myself right now. I did ask the question if there's any work or items left, and I was told no, but that might be an ongoing thing. So I'll double check. Yeah, so that's the Central Peak development, and right on that area, right on Central Way, is of course the Central Avenue paving project. So there, as you all know, as Moss Bay neighborhood residents, there's been a lot going on. That paving project was completed October of 25. It included grinding, resurfacing, and final striping. Looks really nice, I would humbly say. Now, this pavement, it extends the pavement a life by 10 to 20 years, so it's a reasonably significant improvement. We improved bike lanes and parking striping and crosswalks. We also believe there's better visibility and a safer pedestrian experience on the Central Avenue paving project. So a lot happening at the same time. You have the Lula Yang construction, Central Peak construction, and the Central Avenue paving. But progress is being made. Now, people are asking a lot about businesses in the downtown. So I had a lot of fun with our team and asked them to kind of put together a list of what we know in terms of downtown businesses coming in. So I'm just going to read that off. We have some images here. So this is what we know. Recently opened or opening soon. There is a Vaughn's 1000 Spirits Bistro coming in where Feast used to be on Park Lane. There's a baby shop in which will be its first Washington location. I think there's a picture up there of that. I don't know where that is going to be. There is a Nuanez Sweets business coming where the former Sweet Cakes Bakery used to be. Noi Sushi is coming, a contemporary Japanese establishment. Cafe Hagen, depicted here in the slide, is coming, a Scandinavian coffee, wine, and beer establishment. Zoc Cuisine is coming as well. And the Monarch Boutique. This is the Luliang building, which will be opening later this year, which I believe she'll be opening in the spring.
Hey, Jim, this is
Yes.
Ken. Can I give you a quick update?
Yes, please.
Yeah, Vaughn's 1000 is supposed to open in April. I talked with the manager in Woodinville, and by the way, it's a great restaurant. So super excited, I think, to have the one here. The Cafe Hagen opened, I think it was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And seems to be received really well. They seem busy all the time. They have a nice patio. So just kind of an FYI for you. The Noi Sushi also opened up a couple months ago. Fantastic. The food, the sushi there is definitely top of the line, but will definitely affect your, don't expect it to be low cost, but
Yeah.
it's delicious. It's fantastic. And then the baby, if I'm wrong, and maybe Sue, you know this one, the baby shop, isn't that the one a couple doors down from Moss Bay Hall next to that new chocolate location?
Yes, I just put that in the chat. It's been
Oh,
open
good.
for a while and they're doing very well. And they had a robbery not long ago. Three women came in, two of them waylaid the manager, and the other one ran out
Oh,
with a very expensive stroller. And the owner, Lily, I think she's going to present to us tonight about her new shop. Anyway,
oh,
she
good.
said
Thank you.
she said all the people from the nail salon and everybody down there came running out. They were all yelling, call 911,
Oh, my
scared the people
goodness.
off. They got all the goods back. She's loving her neighbors. I'm telling you, they're all together.
Oh,
It's really good. I love to hear that.
oh, thank you so much for that update, Ken and Sue. Yeah, we're all in this together. We are all in this together. Thank you guys. So that is the list of recently opened or opening soon. And thank you for that additional information. Vaughn's, the Baby Shop, Nuana Sweets, Sushi, Hagen, the Zoc Cuisine, and the Monarch. What we have upcoming is the Tanaka Ramen Izakaya restaurant. This was the former Island Soul establishment. That's coming. The Slip, we pretty confident a new restaurant will be coming in there soon. They're working through that. Uh, there's likely to be a real estate office coming in the Cafe Ladro space. Equinox Gym, a children's cafe, and Paint Kirkland will be coming to Kirkland Urban. That's upcoming. And a secret burger kitchen. That's what I have in my notes. I love me a good burger. So there's a lot happening, a lot of really great energy in our beautiful downtown. Very pleased about that.
Sorry, Jim. Can you repeat the new openings in Urban?
The new openings in Urban are an Equinox Gym, a children's cafe, and Paint Kirkland. I met the business owner. Like a lot of fun. Paint Kirkland.
Okay, thanks.
So our team, Jen Davis Hayes and Christian Switzer, they're working closely with commercial brokers and the KDA. Very appreciative of their work. And we track vacancies and accelerating leases. So we're doing what we can to facilitate relationships, connections, really trying to promote our beautiful downtown, and we're very pleased. I want to have Molly Moon's proprietor on the podcast soon, so a lot of fun, a lot of great stuff. So current leasing activity, there's the Wing Dome location. Our understanding is they are getting offers at that location. Starbucks, our understanding is that that's very close to being leased, or the lease is being signed. And the Devanti site is also having a lease very close or being signed. So good flow of information, a lot happening. Very pleased. Very interested to see what goes in that Wing Dome location. So, yeah, so that's kind of the update there. Another big topic is the Peter Kirk Park. Now, this topic is interesting on many levels. This is related to the Kraken Iceplex and Community Center update, because we have, as many of you know, we have a park and play. I'm sorry, park and play. Used to be a park and ride. Call it a park and play. Where we have pickleball and a skate park there. And we also have a community garden, which is being moved to a different location. Well, the skate park and the pickleball from the park and play are coming to the downtown. And here I have a picture of the two tennis courts. Well, we're going to be converting these tennis courts to pickleball courts. I think there'll be like 8 of them. And we are going to be enhancing the skate park. There's some things in the park and play skate park that people really like that we would like to enhance with the downtown. And it's all part of really building a more engaged and vibrant park and downtown, and even connecting the urban area through the park to Park Lane, right down to the water. And I think the beautiful ice rink, and I was with the ice rink folks tonight. We had a lot of fun. It closed yesterday, but we got to have a kind of a closing party there tonight. That's another in this strategic linking of the entire downtown. You walking by the rink is a really nice experience, and going in, trying to bring connectivity, I think, is a really good thing. And enhancing the pickleball area in the park in this way, I think, will do a lot to promote that. So the work here will keep the exterior fencing, as I understand it, but it does include new interior fencing. The resurfacing and painting work will be weather dependent. It's likely to be going on in the spring. The exterior fencing, like I said, will remain in place, but the new interior fencing will be added to separate the courts and build the kind of court system. And yeah, there's some more details about we're contracting with the American Ramp Company to assist with designing and renovating the skateboard park. So there's a lot of work going on in parks now with respect to that. But I think this whole area will be really vibrant. I hope to go to play there myself, go up to the queue, hang out a little bit. Should be a nice experience.
So, Jim, there are some of our residents who are tennis players.
Yes.
And the question is, if we're removing these 2 courts, are we adding some additional courts that are nearby somewhere else?
Alex, I am not aware that we will be adding tennis courts in other places. I can follow up, ask the parks folks how they're answering that question with respect to our existing inventory of courts. It will be similar to, although a different design, because we got 3 pickleball courts out of the tennis court that was at Evers Park. But I am not aware of new courts being added to our inventory as a result of this project, but I can follow up on that. It's a really good question. So a lot of the...
Hey, I'm sorry, Alex, are we waiting to ask questions, or can we ask questions?
Well, I think because Jim's presentation is like so long, and they're all kind of chunked, it would be easier to ask at the end of each section, maybe.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Alex and Ken. I think that's a good system. And I can take questions on the Peter Kirk park improvements now.
Okay, Jim, this is Ken.
Yes.
Just a quick question. By the way, I like the improvements. I think it's great. I walk by there every day in Q Bar. I'll meet you there for a drink.
Yeah.
Um, Happy to do that. The question on the pickleball is, I run through the Google campus a lot, and I see the people playing it all the time. It's pretty loud when you're playing it. Is there going to be for all the residence buildings that are in that vicinity? Is it going to be managed in a way that respects the hours of those residents that live fairly close to that new set of pickleball courts?
Yeah, I think it's going to be just the same park hours that are currently established. I think the feedback on that, Ken, was because of this location and because of the main street, that it was probably more of an ideal area to put the pickleball courts structurally than other areas. But I think, like many things, we'll iterate through as we go and see if there are issues that are raised. I think the uh, most direct answer is that it would be current park hours. I'm not aware of a different park hour schedule, and we'll see what happens. But we are aware of that issue, and we'll keep an eye on it.
Okay. Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
I just had a quick question, Jim. This is Susie
Hi, Sue.
Oberman. Hi. I've noticed in some other areas where they have put in pickleball courts, they also make kind of a hybrid court where you can still play tennis as well as pickleball. Is that a possibility where there could be maybe tennis time and then also pickleball time? Just so that we don't take away those tennis players' enjoyment just for the pickleballers.
Yeah, it's a really great point. I've seen those courts as well. I don't think that's the case here because we're putting in infrastructure, the fencing infrastructure on the courts. It's not, my understanding it is not temporary netting, it's permanent netting. And because it's 4 per court, it sounds like it's going to be pretty dedicated to pickleball. If there is some kind of engineering design going on that I'm not aware of, I will follow up with Alex and Brenda, but I don't believe that's the case.
Okay,
Thank you for asking. Yeah. So the next item is events, and there's a lot going on with events, and we're very excited about them, and we really, really hope Moss Bay neighborhood comes and has fun and participates and gives us feedback on them. Each one of these, most of these I have a QR code for, and I'll do a little pitching, but I won't take too much time, Alex, pitching. Literally, the first one is the pitch competition, where it's kind of like Shark Tank, where small businesses come and we go through classes, I think, really high-end instruction. B. Nahan is one of our teachers, and she can't do better than B, teaching finances. I myself teach a course in the Lean Canvas, and we have business. We're going to do a business licensing core module so people know how to get started. It's really great. And the competition itself is on March 24th. So we're going to invite everybody from the Moss Bay neighborhood to come and sit in the audience, and you get to vote. There's 3 $5,000 prizes, best new startup, best existing business, and audience favorite. So the audience favorite is just a vote of the people watching, and it's really like Shark Tank. And they are so they are so energetic, and we have some great stories already. We've done it for 2 years. This is the 3rd year. So come on out. It's at the Kirkland Performance Center. Anybody has interest, please reach out directly to me. I'm happy to respond and love to have you come. On May 7th, we have Community Appreciation Night. Get your tickets early. We're partnering with the Chamber of Commerce. We're going to have dinner or light dinner served which is an addition this year, at the PKCC, the Peter Kirk Community Center. And then we're going to walk over and see the community awards. This is where we honor our volunteers and the amazing work that we do. And we acknowledge our neighborhood associations and really a great night, a lot of fun. We sing and dance a little bit. Some of us, yeah, one could argue some of us on the call who can sing and dance always do. So that's a bit of an entertaining, hopefully, in and of itself. And we really welcome you to come and hope you do. It's just such a wonderful city we have, and what makes it so wonderful is all the care we have for each other. So that's on May 7th. And then on August 2nd through the 8th, we invite you to the Junior League Softball World Series. We're one of 7 sanctioned World Series in the United States of America, and this is for our gals, young gals. There are only 3 female World Series sanctioned. We're one of those 3, and it happens between August 2nd and 8th. And we do it up at Everett Park, but we're going to do a big movie night, I think, at that time downtown. And we'll send out all information to anybody that's interested in doing it. It's really a lot of fun. We have a big softball game, University of Washington alum versus Washington State alum, cats and dogs, we call it. So if you're interested in that, this is right in your neighborhood, Moss Bay. And of course, we have the 4th of July parade. You know that well. It's best parade there is. And that's going to, we have, the city runs that parade now. So there's a lot going on at the city. And I have a little announcing station right in front of the train station. Come say hi to me, say hi to the folks. You could, it will interview you. It'll be a lot of fun. And then in September, we have a Kirkland Pride event coming this year. Used to be in Redmond. It's coming to Kirkland, and we're very pleased about that. City Hall for All, Touch a Truck. We have a lot of mostly young families, but everybody's welcome. And then, of course, we've been doing, last year we did the Umbrella Fringe Festival, and we're going to do that again this year, which is really interesting, fun, quirky entertainment right around that time in September. So there's a lot happening. We really have a lot of energy to promote a fun, vibrant community through our events, and we have a lot of fun putting them on.
Looks like a great lineup. Question for you, in terms of the community appreciation night, is that open to public, or you mentioned something about tickets? Or
it is free and open to public. I like to think this is the best value in town. It's limited only by the number of seats at the KPC, which I think is in the area of 400.
Okay.
So please come down and honor our volunteers and hopefully have a laugh and some good food.
Perfect.
Sue. Oh, Sue, I think you're muted.
What's the Umbrella Fringe Festival?
So the Umbrella Fringe Festival is a new event, mostly funded by the Tourism Development Committee. And the essence of this event is for artists, small artists, poets, comedians, smaller acts that where they come and play in small venues at cafe shops. There was a full venue at the Kirkland Arts Center. We actually did a big performance at the Kirkland Performance Center the Friday of the weekend. We had an art festival that weekend up at Kirkland Urban, and some interesting music, small music performances. So it was born in Edinburgh, the event type, and it's really kind of those acts that weren't mainstream that got a chance to participate. And if it's really working, Sue, it's kind of like a local cafe allows a busker to go in and perform a couple of acts that weekend, or a restaurant will say, okay, we're going to let you take over the bar area and be a comic for the night. It's kind of like a more earthy experience for entertainment. We were very appreciative. Moss Bay Hall did it last year. It was super fun. The Art Center had a really great venue. We had K-Tub open. In Studio East did some performances, and we had a 2-day art festival up at Kirkland Urban. So it's growing. It's small now. We hope to cultivate it, grow that garden a little bit. The date will be published soon, but it will likely be in September.
Thank
And
you.
yeah,
Thank you.
great question.
Do they have their own website at this point on the city page somewhere?
You know, it's funded and run from the Kirkland Arts Center. And I don't know the state of this year's website, but they had a great website last year. So that's something I need to follow up on. So there's the suite of events. that want to bring your attention to. And anybody has an interest in any of those, please reach out. Love to get you involved. Okay, so this is a lot of folks have asked about this one, Alex. So I thought I'd put this in.
Perfect.
And this is the connection to downtown Kirkland to future bus rapid transit. And this is what's going on, all that construction up on 85th. And let me get through my notes here. The expected completion of this construction on this corridor going into the 85th intersection is summer of 26. It's built ahead of WashDOT's interchange reconstruction for the seamless access, this part. Now, what we're actually building here, what's being developed is a it's a $12 million investment, about $10.8 million from Sound Transit. City of Kirkland's in for about $1.3 million. And what we're actually building is a 12-foot wide path for walking and rolling up that area. We're also building a retaining wall and bridge over the Cross Kirkland corridor. There won't be any benches due to the slope and safety requirements. So this will be hopefully a very easy method of getting up and down that area, 12-foot wide path. So with respect to the trail impacts, the CKC trail remains closed due to the bridge construction hazards, and the path does not directly connect to the CKC due to elevation differences. So in the end, we would have this path for walking and rolling that moves right along all of the construction through this kind of seamless corridor that we're building up on 85th. That's why the road is extended, and that's why that construction is going on as you move up that elevated area on 85th. We have had some questions about that, Alex, so I thought I'd put that in there.
So does that so the grade numbers that you're showing along 85th there?
Yes.
That is for the pedestrian or the walk and roll path that you're putting in,
Yes.
not the actual. So is 85th itself going to be regraded at some point?
Let me orient myself to this. I believe so. Yes. I will double check on that, but I do believe so. I think those are the gradient. And that it will be, yes, I think so, but I'll double check that.
Okay. So that'll happen at a later date, is what you're saying.
That's my understanding.
Okay. There is a note here from B. She's also mentioning the Kirkland Community Foundation has its annual Ignite program. The 2026 date is TBD still.
Yeah, and we can promote that, B, for sure. Alex, if you don't mind putting your question in an email to me, I'll send it down to our transportation engineers, get you the most accurate answer.
Sure.
Yep. Yeah, so that is a important update, and that's what we're building, and hopefully that will be finished in the summertime, 2026. Okay, so the last item is a big one. It's the Seattle Kraken Iceplex and Community Center. Here is a very recent depiction of that. And as you can see in the slide, it's probably going to be about $65 million. Two regulated sheets of ice, so that full-size sheets so that an NHL team could practice on it. There's going to be a restaurant. There's going to be a team store there. There originally wasn't, but I think Kraken really invested in it. And of course, our big takeaway is a community center. And this will be a city community center. It's close, but it will probably be the biggest community center. It will probably be bigger than the PKCC and the North Kirkland Community Center in available square foot. And that will be, that's the city's we're operating the community center. The Kraken are operating the facility. The status of the project is that we have come to an agreement on many of the documents that need to be signed, and they have been signed. Essentially, the best way for me to describe it is it's kind of like a purchase and sale agreement type document that's been signed. So we're in the period of finalizing the specific things that need to happen. The Iceplex is located at the current Kirkland Park and Play. It was the former Kirkland Park and Ride right off of exit 17. And it's not going to be the same, but a great experience to use as a reference would be to go to the Northgate Iceplex and see what that's like. We have modeled the fit and finish of our Iceplex loosely around the community and senior center in Redmond. And we're in the process now, the Kraken is in the process now of completing design of the entire facility. We have had our own design team. We hired architects as well to work with the Kraken as they design it. It's been a very collaborative effort. As you can see in this picture, the big rows of windows, those are all new. Those are all came through the design, the joint design process. And we're very pleased with it. Generator Studio, as noted in this slide, is the Kraken's architect firm. So there's still work to be done here, but it is, these documents are signed. We're moving forward. The council's given us authority to do the deal. And we hope in the coming weeks to have a lot of media availability on this. The Kraken, we've been relatively quiet in terms of the Kraken's communications about it while we work through the agreements. But now that we have the agreements done, I think you can expect soon a press conference, members of the team, an event for folks to see, and more of a joint presence of the Kraken in the community. And we're very excited. We hope it's an aggressive timeline. I think they hope to be finished and operational summer or fall of 27. But that means things need to get going now, and hopefully they do. So that's the Kraken Iceplex update. There's a lot to building a $65 million project, but I think there's a lot of good synergy between the city and the team, and the project has kind of grown a little bit. I think there's a very, very real chance this will be the practice home of the Seattle Torrent women's professional hockey team. That's still yet to be done, but I think there's a really good chance that would happen. And we're working closely with them to maximize the opportunities for the city. We do, and we've noted in many presentations that we've hired a firm to measure the economic impact of having this type of facility, and it's significant. There could be upwards of $7 million a year in positive impact to our community, and we hope that this development also helps to catalyze interest and investment in the 85th area station area plan, which is a really big and high priority development area for the city moving forward. And we hope now that a big entity is coming in doing this project that it will help inspire, catalyze, and make happen that development. So that's the update. There's more, and there's always the opportunity to come back. I really like this format, and Alex, I'm kind of at your disposal.
Yeah, no, appreciate very much the presentation. Let's just open up to see if there are any general questions on any of the topics Jim has covered so far. Let me just go through the chat really quick. I think we might have missed one or two here. Yes, we got the location. Sue had I think it's a question here, in regards to the K line. Are the bus turnouts along 108th no longer in the final plan?
Sue, I will have to follow up with you on that. I don't know that. Yep.
Okay. Anyone else? No, that means pretty comprehensive. And we covered several questions already along the way. Once again, appreciate you joining us. This is a great overview of what's coming up in 2026. It's just great to get that overview all at one time. We've had bits and pieces, and we do appreciate the extra information on the 85th Street construction updates there too.
Yeah. Send me that email, Alex, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Make sure we have everything correct.
Okay. Jean, did you have a question or?
Just confirm the location of the Kraken Iceplex.
The Kraken Iceplex is it's right off of exit 17, Gene, where the former Houghton Park and Ride is. Currently, we call it the Houghton Park and Play. So it's right up there at exit 17, right when you get off the 405.
So it will be accessible by people?
It will be accessible by people, meaning?
Well, if it's a community center, how accessible is it?
Yes, it's a full community center, and the ingress and egress is in design. But yes, the structure, we want to make it as easy to do pick up and drop off and come in and come out as possible. But it will be a full community center for our people.
So people can walk to it?
Yeah, I think there's probably good walking access from multiple points. I'm thinking from the high school area, for example. Yeah, but it is the park and ride area, so that would be the central point of the development.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. I think we're good for that. Thanks so much, Jim. Appreciate it tonight.
Nice to see you all.
Hey, Jim.
Thank
Good to
you.
see you. Thanks, Jim.
Okay. Bye-bye. Oh, I got to stop sharing.
Yeah,
I just want to share. Have a nice night, everybody.
Thanks. Okay, let's see. All right. So Tim, glad you're still with us.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. It's always nice to hear from Jim and what's going on and bubbling up from the city manager's office. Alex had reached out asking a little bit about business license applications. So I'm Tim Hanser, the financial operations manager for the city. Among other things, I oversee our business license office. I had some preliminary questions that were asked, and I provided a response by email. I can go over those again if you'd like.
I haven't shared those out with anyone, so
Okay,
I think those are the exact answers we'd love to hear.
Sure. So there were, I think, two primary questions that were asked were specifically with respect to the timelines for applications for liquor licenses, and then the other one was for sign permits. So liquor licenses are actually licensed by the state Liquor and Cannabis Board. The City of Kirkland staff has a pretty limited role in that process. My team receives the communications that there's a new application pending or there's renewal. We distribute that information to various other departments across the city, for example, the police department. They provide feedback directly back to the Liquor and Cannabis Board. And that's, to my understanding, nothing about what we do, with the exception of there is a desire to hold up a permit, would cause any delay from the city of Kirkland's perspective. So unfortunately, I hate to say it, but the question is probably better directed to the Liquor and Cannabis Board and the Department of Revenue for the state on that one. The other one with respect to sign permits. So depending on the type of sign permit, there's different review processes. If it's in the right of way, it has a kind of an added layer of review. There are standard timelines and goals for how long that process should take. I'm just pulling it up right now. And I did share the file, which is available on our website, about reviews for a lot of different type of permits. signs being one of them. So regular permits, the goal is 10 business days for first review. And kind of if it gets more complicated, it might take longer. Generally speaking, these are reviewed by planning and building staff. But like I said, when they're in the right of way, so like they're hanging over the sidewalk, those would also be reviewed by Public Works. I'm curious what the experience is of businesses and those who are getting permits and what the timelines really are in practice,
Oh,
since my
sorry.
team doesn't directly
Yeah.
do that work.
Sorry, Tim. Maybe we could just sort of take a step back here.
Sure, of
So,
course.
maybe just introduce what your role is,
Sure, of course.
what your group does in regards to licensing,
Of course. I'm sorry.
what you have purview over versus what gets dealt elsewhere,
Of
and then
course.
we'll start with that sort of high level for everyone, and then we can dive down to some of these specific
Fair enough.
examples.
So I oversee the City of Kirkland's business license office. Like I said, among other things, most of them are not terribly pertinent to this conversation. So what that really looks like is the city partners with the Department of Revenue, with the state. We receive through the Department of Revenue's kind of portal information about new applications for business licenses and as well as annual renewals. My staff is responsible for reviewing each and every one of those applications. And it's about 14,000 that we do a year. So it's a very high volume. And we're really doing our review is focused primarily on is the information being provided correctly or what we believe to be correctly based on what is their reported revenues as well as what is their employee counts, because those are the two factors that determine the fee. So we are confirming that those fees are correct, and then if we need to make any corrective actions, we reach out to the businesses directly.
So, can you tell us a little bit about the criteria by which these are approved, or is it just really about assessing a fee?
It's for a renewal process. Obviously, there's a lot less involved. It's mostly to confirm that the fees are correct. So we're reviewing those, comparing it to previous submissions. If there's a significant change in the employee count, we flag those for review. We may follow up with the business to ask them to confirm the information. That's for most renewals, that's the case. It's as simple as that. We're not checking to make sure that they're operating, I don't want to say legally, but operating kind of in compliance with other code requirements. New businesses, by and large, it's a similar process. Depending on the type of business, we might be flagging it and saying, okay, well, what is the nature of this business? We don't spend a lot of time and energy looking at things like zoning code requirements. That is something that we've talked about with the city. Actually, was consulting with the city of Redmond on this a few months ago. It would require a lot more resources than we have currently, because it's just the time to review is a lot greater. I have a staff. They split responsibilities across other things, a staff of 4. And so they're really only probably about 1.5 dedicated to this work every day. So 14,000, and you start doing the math in terms of hours, and it's a lot to process. So I would say it's, generally speaking, a pretty cursory review of licenses.
Okay, and so it's what criteria for approval? I mean, what are you looking for, or is it pretty much everyone gets a license?
I would say that's an interesting way to frame it. There are we're not doing a huge deep dive into businesses. So there are some exceptions. So we're looking at, like, when we're looking at short-term rentals, there's other requirements. So we'll look at the short-term rental requirements of the code. We'll require that review. We work with a third party to look at what short-term rental activity there is to kind of predetermine whether we think that they're compliant with the short-term rental section of the business license code. And if they are, we would just proceed with an approval. If not, then we would reach out to the business and kind of get a better understanding of what's going on. There's not a lot of, I would say, generally speaking, there's not a lot of other criteria when we're reviewing businesses. A huge percentage of our businesses are home-based operations that are really quite small. These are not, I mean, many people would probably say that's not a business. It's a, it's a side hustle. It's a gig. But they are businesses by definition of the Kirkland code. So there's not really a lot to review in that process.
Sue is asking, I guess, why would you have to renew a sign lease? If I have a new restaurant and I get a sign, do I have to pay more fees in subsequent years for that sign?
That is an excellent question, and I do not know the answer. I will get back to you on that in terms of what the requirements are for sign renewals. Make a note of that.
I think in your email you did mention some standard timelines. Do you want to go over those?
Sure. So there are some standard timelines. They are available on our website. I can actually drop the link after I chat a little bit. So we have some goals with respect to how long a sign permit renewal should take. So a regular permit renewal the first review should take 10 business days, so 2 weeks. If there's any other work that needs to be done, it's an additional 5 business days prior to issuance. Like I said, the complicating factors would be if they are hanging within the right of way, it would just require another set of individuals to review them. My understanding, based on talking to my colleagues in other departments, is that doesn't have a huge impact on their timelines. And revision processes are on a shorter timeline because it's kind of been pre-vetted. A lot of the work's already been done, so it's a shorter timeline because the expectation is it's not as much work for staff to do.
So if I'm applying to open a new business somewhere downtown,
yeah.
So other than what we've talked about so far, a business license, potentially a liquor license,
Yeah.
And signage license, is there any other types of licensing that I'm missing?
It would depend on the business. So we don't have a huge range of other requirements. So if you're doing any sort of, I'm just trying to think of examples. So
Like a
gambling.
restaurant. Oh yeah. Let's say it's just a restaurant.
So if it's just a restaurant, I mean, the only thing I could think of beyond it is from a city's perspective is if there had like pull tabs, which would then have its own requirements. But most restaurants don't have that. There's some work permit requirements at the state level, though those are not City of Kirkland requirements.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, so I think to sort of allude to the question you alluded to earlier, as we have our happy hours and a lot of new businesses and things like that, people say, well, we've been waiting for our license for this, for that, or or it took us so long to open because, we were just waiting for licenses.
Sure.
So that's why we just sort of want to understand the process from you and just understand what exactly the city is responsible for. So possibly
Sure,
it's not a city issue then.
But I'd definitely be curious to learn about the experiences of businesses with respect to liquor licenses, to the extent that we can, work with the state and understand it better ourselves, so we can communicate it more clearly, or if we can influence their timelines to the extent that we could do that. I'm always happy to engage and support.
Okay, great. Sue, go ahead.
Tim, one of our new restaurants in town were ready to open, and they were waiting on their sign permit.
Okay.
How long a period are we talking that they're waiting? Did they apply too late, or is it a long process? They were ready to go, but they needed their sign.
So my understanding is our standard process is 10 working days. So that'd be 2 weeks.
Reasonable. That's reasonable.
But I can certainly follow up and find out if there was a specific delay, if you'd like to have a little more detail on that.
No, they're open,
Okay.
Signs up, all good.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's the same one I'm thinking of, it didn't look like they had signage over the sidewalk or anything like that.
Okay.
So, it should have been pretty straightforward. Okay. Any other questions for Tim tonight? All right. Great. Well, thank you so much, Tim, for.
Yep,
oh,
thanks.
Sorry.
Oh,
There's one more from Sue. Oh no,
Happy to.
she's saying bye. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
Appreciate you coming to join our neighborhood meeting tonight.
Happy
Just to give us this overview of, and it just helps for everyone just to understand what the process is.
Of course. And always happy to come back.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
Okay. Take care. Good night.
Good night. Okay. So this brings us to something Sue mentioned earlier. Do we have someone from the baby shop online?
I sent her the link. She thanked me for the link. She was very excited to do
Okay.
this. I don't know what happened. I can check with her.
Oh, that's
Maybe
fine.
for next time. Maybe
Yeah,
for next time.
we could circle back to her next time. Okay. Next, let's get an update about our neighborhood safety program from Dawn.
I have to get my video going here. You can hear me, Alex?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so uh, I'm just going to have a brief report tonight. We haven't really had any much going on in the last few weeks, and so let me get my PowerPoint going here. Well, the PowerPoint is going. What I have to do is share screen, right?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Share. All right. And here we go. All right, so there we are. Okay, so, all right, so I will actually start the slideshow, I hope. Yeah, there we go. So there's the scramble again. Uh, And this is going to be pretty quick because I just have minor updates here. So I brought up the timeline here for the neighborhood safety program, and we turned in our two ideas for two projects for the program, and we turned those in on December 1st. And so the next milestone is going to be February 12th, where I meet with the city engineers and Daniel Lazo, our neighborhood coordinator, and I will get feedback on our two projects and um, from the city engineers, the feasibility of the projects, whether they think they like them, that they're good projects for the neighborhood safety program, or whether they're not likely to be approved, or whether they're not acceptable at all, which could be the case in one of our ideas, which I'll talk about in a minute. Okay, so let me get on here. So one thing we need is more ideas. We always are ready, always willing to accept ideas, and we always need ideas for the neighborhood safety program. And the purpose of the program is to improve pedestrian and bicycle safety. So if you can uh, suggest something in our neighborhood that would improve bicycle or pedestrian safety, go ahead and do it. And that could include maybe anything on the CKC that goes through Moss Bay or any pedestrian, crosswalks, anything. So let me get on from here. So here's a way to submit your ideas. One way to do it is at our Kirkland portal, which is on the Kirkland website, the Kirkland city website. And so you can go to the City of Kirkland website. It's kirklandwa.gov. That's pretty easy to remember. And then the best way to find it is to type our Kirkland into the search box there where it says, "How can we help you?" And when you do that, all the links will pop up right and big and on the screen. And that's the fastest way to do it. I had a couple of links that were direct links to our Kirkland, but they're these long, convoluted links that I just figured no one would be able to remember or use. So this is the simplest way to do it. Okay, these are a list of the projects that are available, and I think we've gone over these before, but they're basically street lights, gravel trails, and traffic calming radar signs, or traffic circles. We did actually have a traffic circle put in one time, a long, long time ago. It was actually before the neighborhood safety program, but we still suggested it. And that's the traffic circle that's on 7th Avenue South between Lake Street and State Street. There's the traffic circle in the middle of about halfway up there at one of the intersections. I think it's probably third. street there, 3rd Street South. Uh, and let's see what else is available. Bike lanes on the, down the road. We already have a number of those, or bike trails, and new crosswalks. And one of our suggestions already is a new crosswalk. So this is our one of our suggestions is a new crosswalk on 7th Avenue South, crossing 7th Avenue South at State Street. And right now there's ADA ramps there, but no actual painted crosswalk or marked crosswalk. They usually lay down these white strips that you can see towards the top of the screen there. And so that's what we're looking to have done, have the white strips laid on the pavement there. And it actually is a project that has grown on me. At first, I didn't think it was too important, but now I see that there's a number of reasons why that makes sense. And one is that if you try to come up on the north side of 7th Avenue South and cross over at the crosswalk, there's no sidewalk to continue. You have to cross here and get over to where the sidewalk continues right up to the CKC. So for that reason, it's good. And it's also, I think, the busiest cross street on State Street. So it makes sense there. A lot of the streets don't have crosswalk. Like you can see the other side of 7th Avenue doesn't have a crosswalk either. But I think this one is a place where it makes more sense. And there is also one other street, 3rd Avenue South, where there is a marked crosswalk. So it's not unprecedented. Okay, here's another look at the same spot. And so just on the ground level. So the crosswalk would just go straight across between the yellow ADA pads there. So it's a nice fit. It seems to be all set up already just to lay down the pads. So I think that would make it pretty inexpensive, which increases our chances of getting it improved. Our second idea is to repair the sidewalk between the Kirkland Library and the Kirkland Performance Center on the north side of Kirkland Avenue. And that stretch of sidewalk is badly broken up in numerous places. This is just one place where these trees have lifted the sidewalk. So we're going to get some feedback on that. I don't know if it's really feasible for a project or not, but I will find that out on February 12th. Okay, so I guess I finished my presentation. So I will stop my screen share.
Okay, great. Any questions about NSP or what's currently being proposed?
Yeah. Hey, Don, thank you. I think everything you're proposing is really good. I like the one where you highlighted specifically like the tree pulling up the sidewalks out by the library.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed and I've seen because I walk around a lot, is there's a lot of areas, especially out by like Merrill Gardens, where the sidewalks for a lot of the elderly are just not even. And I watch a lot of people struggle. I see a lot of people trip and fall. And,
Yeah.
and so when you talk about pedestrian safety, who really owns this, and how do we get the city to ante up to really start fixing the sidewalks to make it friendlier, not just for people like you and I, but those who have to have, the wheelchairs or the walking devices because they're not.
Yeah. Well, the city owns them. Usually they're put in by the property owner when they develop property. And so, but the city has to maintain them, I guess. And but I see all over town, they do grind the sidewalk to level off places where the tree raises the sidewalk. Usually that's the problem. Most of the time, the tree's causing the problem. And so they do grind them down. So I think they're doing what they think they can do. But I know the problem is it's very expensive to fix sidewalks. And I think
Yeah.
this section we're talking about for our idea, and Sue suggested it actually to repair this stretch of sidewalk, but it's a long stretch. and that's a lot of repair. So we'll get feedback on that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think, and by the way, I appreciate that. And I think it's a good one. If you need any support, because at the end of the day, a lot of people are, they pay the taxes and they walk, they walk and you want to make it, this area is a very high traffic profile area. They like the restaurants, the shops. So making it safe for people and I heard Jim Lopez talk about how they want to try to connect and do more. And they're talking about bringing more people downtown. We've got to find ways to make it safer. So I just put that
Yeah.
out there. I love it, and I appreciate everything you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, we could just contact Public Works and ask them about that. But I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure it's a money issue. I mean,
I'm sure of it.
that's why they do
Mon-
that grinding as an interim, solution. And
Money and priority.
yeah.
I think they
Okay,
need to
thank you.
clarify whether it's in or not in the NSP program, because as a community we keep thinking, oh, we'll get it through NSP, and they say no, we can't do that, it's too expensive. So let us know early and figure out that the city has to allocate those funds potentially in a different pocket, right? So
I could ask that at this meeting I'm going to have with the city engineers. They might not be the best guys as far as prioritizing and how much money is available and stuff, but it's still a question they can answer, especially since one of our ideas is repairing sidewalks. So
yep.
I think I'll know a lot more after that meeting. And since
All right.
since you brought that up, Ken, I can specifically ask them, who's responsible for this? How do we go about getting in numerous areas in the city where there are lifted sidewalks like that, or just sidewalks in poor repair?
All right. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Whoops, I missed a chat somewhere. Let's see. So yeah, there's just a comment here from Cody. Excellent feedback, Ken. Pushing a wheelchair and walking in crutches is really dangerous in such a walking community. It would be great to have this prioritized. Thank you to address Don. All right, good comment. Next, I just want to open it up. If anyone has any other community announcements, this would be a good time. Sue, go ahead.
The utility box at the Scramble that was moved, and
Yes.
it had the historical photos on it. Louita Hawkinson and I are meeting with Jim Lopez this week they've agreed to reinstall the historic photos. They've moved those boxes south on Lake Street a few feet, 20 feet or so, but they're still the ugly silver boxes. So hopefully they'll get redone soon.
So did they?
Hey,
Oh, sorry.
sorry, Alex.
Oh, did they destroy the wrap? They can't reuse them, right? So they have to redo them.
No, because they had to move those boxes, and so they'll have to redo them. But they'll do them the same way we had them before.
Go ahead, Ken.
As I say, when you meet with Jim, can you ask him on the corner across, the corner that's where I think they had the boxes there before? There's like just a bunch of dirt. Are they going to be doing something? Because Jim said, "Hey, yeah, we finished. That area's all done." It doesn't look done to me. I'm sorry. I'm particular.
I'll ask him because yesterday we were driving down Lake Street and the fountain in front of Bank of America was splashing all over the sidewalk. Somebody put a rock in it or something like that. Yeah, I'll ask him both of those things.
Yeah, because that one corner where the fountain is doesn't look done. It's just a bunch of dirt.
I'll check it out and ask.
Thank you, Sue.
That's
Sorry,
why I was
I'll be
asking
quiet.
about.
I'll be quiet, Alex.
No, that's good, because I think that's why I was asking about the photo that he showed, because there were no dirt patches. It looked, I wasn't sure if that was a recent photo or it was like.
I don't think that was a real photo.
Okay.
I don't think it was either.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, look, it does look nice. It's all done, but I guess it's not. Yeah.
Didn't fool us. Did not fool us.
Didn't fool us. Very good. Okay, I think that's it. Just a couple announcements here. So our next happy hour is going to be Monday, February 9th. Our next meeting will be March 9th. And we will send out some email communications and post it on our website and Facebook as well as to the location for that happy hour. All right, with that, I'd like to bid everyone a happy evening. Thanks for joining us at the beginning of the year
Alex.
here.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank
Great
you.
meeting. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
guys. Yep. See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.